everyone. I hereby call this meeting to order. It is exactly 6 p.m. Let's proceed with the roll call. As I call your name, please indicate whether you're here or not. Anita Chavez.
Present.
Alyssa Pena.
Here.
Celso Gomez.
Here.
Dr. Rosalba Hernandez.
Present.
Dr. Carlos Margo.
Here.
Jessica Ochoa.
Present.
And of course myself. I see that we have a quorum. At this time, I would please help me welcome Ms. Victoria Pena, 5th grade student from Benson Elementary. Please come forward and for the Pledge of Allegiance. While she's coming forward, I'm going to ask Ms. Anita Chavez to read a little bit about Ms. Pena.
Victoria Pena is a 5th grade student who has maintained perfect attendance at Lord M. Benson Junior Elementary. She's the daughter of Victor and Melissa Pena of Palmview. Victoria is an outstanding student who is an active participant of the GT program and track. During our URL season, she participated in oral, reading, listening skills, and calculators. She received numerous ribbons and trophies. She's an exceptional student who embodies the expectations of the great district of La Joya ISD.
Welcome, Ms. Pena.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Pena will also do the invocation.
Dear Heavenly Father, as we convene today, we humbly ask for your guidance in embracing change for the betterment of our La Joya ISD community. Grant us the wisdom to navigate challenges with unity and resilience. May our decisions reflect our commitment to excellence and inclusivity in education. Bless our efforts to create a brighter future for all our students and families. Let us work together with courage and compassion, knowing that through change we can build a stronger and prosperous community. Amen.
Thank you, Ms. Pena. We can give her a round of applause. She did a great job. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now move over to agenda item number 5. First of all, I just want you to know that I may sound a little hoarse. I feel great, but unfortunately the weather has made my voice change a little bit, so I apologize if I sound a little hoarse tonight. What we're going to ask now is we're going to be recognizing a few individuals. I'm going to ask that Ms. Anita Chavez and Alyssa Pena please step forward as we call our next group of people that will be recognized. And this is agenda item number 5. Please help me welcome the La Joya High School for being acknowledged as a collegiate board AP honor roll school and for receiving the AP Access Award. A round of applause. Ms. Segovia, Advanced Academic Strategist, will help introduce this recognition.
Yes, good evening, Madam Superintendent, Mr. Board President, and ladies and gentlemen of the board. We would like to recognize La Joya High School for earning all criteria to be listed on College Board's 2023 AP School Honor Roll as a silver level school. In order to qualify for the AP School Honor Roll list, schools must meet or exceed the criteria for a given recognition level for all 3 metrics in college culture, college credit, and college optimization. La Joya High School has earned a 93% in college culture, 32% in college credit, and 27% in college optimization. La Joya High School has also achieved the AP Access Award for providing all students, including students of underrepresented populations, the opportunity to participate in AP courses. A big round of applause for La Joya High School, Mr. Estrada, and AP designee, Ms. Rebecca Guzman.
If I could have our board members in the picture. Thank you very much. Next, let me welcome a group of folks that I've been hearing a lot about, and that is our La Jolla ISD Swim Regional Qualifiers. Mr. Victor Garza, the athletic director, will introduce this recognition.
Mr. President, Madam Superintendent, Board of Trustees, Administration, community, it gives me great pride and joy to bring our student athletes that have excelled not only in the classroom, but more importantly in this case, in the water, in the sport of swimming. Today we have with us two particular groups. We have the swimmers from La Jolla High School. They were different places at district level at different events, and they were all regional qualifiers. So first we start off with Natalie Munoz. She's a senior in the 50 free. Carlos Aguilar, he was a member of the 200 medley and the 200 freestyle relay. Jose Aguilar, member of the 400, also the 200 and the 200 relays. Jose Aguilar. Andre Galaviz, junior, member of the freestyle relay. Javier Lizguez, sophomore, 4th place in the 100 backstroke, and also a member of the 200 medley and the 200 freestyle relay, member of 2 relays, Javier Lizguez. Juan Pablo Reyes, a member of the 200 freestyle relay and a member of the 400 freestyle relay. Osvaldo Rios, a senior, member of the 200 medley relay and the 400 freestyle relay. And last but not least, Angel Rios Quintanilla, member of the 200 medley relay and the 200 freestyle relay. Their head coach is Coach Frank Figueroa, assisted by Coach Jennifer Gonzalez. And welcome by their principal, Mr. Ricardo Estrada, La Jolla High School principal.
Great job. Great job.
Great job, guys. Way to go.
If I may, Madam Superintendent, do we have any parents from La Jolla High School present?
Oh,
La Jolla High School swimmers? Next, we have our swimmers from Juarez Lincoln High School. Juarez Lincoln High School, we have first Emerson Avila, freshman, member of the 200 medley relay. Israel Aviles, member also of the 200 medley relay. He's also a freshman. Regional qualifier in 2 events, a 500 free and a 200 medley relay, a senior, Leonardo Garcia. Sophomore, member of the 200 medley relay, Ana Isaguirre. Junior, 200 medley relay, Aileen Ramos. Freshman, member of the 200 medley relay, Geraldine Rasgado. And sophomore member of the relay is Samantha Teo. Regional qualifier in the 100 butterfly, freshman Alexis Velez, also in the 200 medley relay. Their head coach is Coach Manuel Rodriguez. Receiving them and welcoming them is Principal Mr. Joe Peña, Juarez Lincoln High School.
Way to go, guys.
Congratulations, Mighty Huskies. Is there any parents of Juarez Lincoln Swimming present? Congratulations, Juarez. Next, we have our wrestlers. It gives me great pride to announce that we had a total of 34 participants at regionals. This has been the most that we've had in as many years that we've had, the 14 years that we've had the split of the three schools. So we'll start with La Jolla High School. We'll start with Brandon Perez. He's a sophomore, third place in district regional qualifier. A junior, Aaron Urrutia, sorry, my bad. Third place district, Jose Gomez, junior, an alternate regional qualifier. The smallest but with the biggest heart at 113, district champion, fourth place at regionals, state qualifier and did excellent at state, Mr. Jesus Martinez Sr. Their head coach is Coach Efrain Rodriguez, assisted by Coach Rudy Cavazos. We'll bring the girls. We take one big picture. We have freshman, fourth place district finisher, Ayana Cavazos. Senior, fourth place finisher in district, Kiara Ochoa. Senior regional qualifier, Angelica Silva. Senior bronze medalist regional qualifier, Brittany Martinez. And definitely will miss this young lady, a senior district champion, fifth place at regional finals, but was able to wrestle at state, did an awesome job, Miss Daisy Vega. Their head coach is Coach Christopher Hernandez, assisted by Steven Hernandez. High school principal, Mr. Ricardo Estrada. Mighty Coyotes wrestling team.
There you go. You're so great.
Okay. Big smile over here. 3, 2, 1. And congratulations.
Are there any parents of the Mighty Coyotes wrestling team, boys and girls, members present? Thank you, Mighty Coyotes. Next, we have freshman from Juarez Lincoln High School, Alan Cerda, district champion, regional qualifier. Sophomore, Third place in district regional qualifier, Angel Alanis. A junior regional qualifier, Mariano Ornelas. Junior regional qualifier, Alfonso Lopez. Junior regional qualifier, Humberto Mandujano. Sophomore silver medalist in district regional qualifier, Jose Cardosa. Mighty Huskies head coach Armando Resendez, assisted by Justin Brown. On the girls' side, we have junior Julieta Chapa, fourth place district qualifier, regional qualifier. We have junior, fourth place in district regional qualifier, Caroline Nuno. Junior, Daphne Gaona, regional and state qualifier. And junior, Jacqueline Navarro, regional qualifier. Their head coach is Coach David Trevino. Principal, Mr. Joe Peña. Is there any Huskies, parents, male, female wrestlers?
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Nice job.
Nice to meet you.
Great job.
Good job.
Great job.
Good job. Thank you.
Nice job.
Good job. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Next, we have our Palmview High School regional qualifiers. We start with senior Virgilio Salinas, regional qualifier. Junior Esteban Carr, silver medalist in district regional qualifier. Regional qualifier, a junior Silverio del Ángel. Senior Ezequiel Barrientos, regional qualifier. Congratulations, Ezequiel. Head coach, Coach Mario Montelongo. He's got another sport going on already. And Coach Jaime Alvarez assisting Coach Montelongo. Our Lady Lobos regional qualifier, sophomore Yasmin Martinez, fourth place in district regional qualifier. A sophomore Cristina Rocha, regional qualifier. A junior bronze medalist in district, fifth place at regional state qualifier, Ariana Garcia. Head coach, Coach Isabel Hernandez. And the Lobo High School principal, Mr. Leonel Perez. Congratulations. Do we have any Lobo parents in the audience?
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Global Parents, for joining us. Thank you.
Way to go. I love the shirt. Coach Chavez, before we move forward, can I go ahead and ask my two board members to make their way back
Yes, sir.
to the dais, and I'm going to ask two of my fellow board members to join you for some pictures. While they're doing that, I also want to acknowledge you. Thank you for congratulating the parents and the coaches for their hard work. So thank you for that, Coach.
This next group that we have is very special, and this is historic.
Yes, sir.
This is the first time La Jolla ISD has involved itself in what we call unified sports. Okay, we hadn't had it. So what is unified sports? Unified sports brings together students with or without intellectual disabilities to participate together. Okay, the only thing that they cannot be is an athlete of the particular sport that we're playing. So we did have some participants from Juarez Lincoln, regular students, some track students. We had ROTC members. We also had it at La Jolla High School, and we also had it at Palmview High School. They all participated. This group, though, were area champions, went on, area champions. Were bronze medalists at regionals, and they just came back a week and a half ago and were bronze medalists at state. So they represented La Jolla ISD proudly. So what did they play? So what did they play? They played floorball. Okay, floorball is similar to hockey indoors. The goalie has to wear full gear, and I do have pictures, and they'll be up in our media and our web so that we can see it. Thank you to Coach that brought them back. But I do appreciate Coach Guajardo for initiating this, asking to along with her staff, allow the opportunity for our students to participate. And definitely we did not say no. We always open the opportunities for them, especially when it comes to the participation of unified, the participation of inclusion in allowing our students to experience the same experiences no matter what disabilities exist. So I want to thank the staff from Juarez, from Palmview, and La Jolla for allowing us the opportunity to provide that. So we have today Regina Rios. She's a senior at Juarez Lincoln High School. Abel Guerrero, Jr. Freshman Roman Rubio. Junior Alfonso Trejo. Junior Kevin Rojas. Junior Eddie Belize. Senior Abigail Villarreal. Senior Tosalva Montano. The coaching staff is Mr. Ray De Anda. Sergio Espinosa. José Ábalos. Thelma Álvarez. Rosaura González. En San Juanita, Guajardo. Once again, and Principal Mr. Joe Peña, and I present you the bronze medalist in floorball at the state level.
And a smile over here. 3, 2, 1. And there you go. Congratulations.
Do we have parents of our mighty Huskies Unified players? Please stand up and be recognized. Thank you, parents. Thank you for entrusting us with your sons and daughters and allowing us the opportunity to experience.
Congratulations. Nice job. Nice job. Thank you so much.
Coach
President, that concludes our presentations from the athletic department.
Before you leave the podium, let me just acknowledge the fact that we were able to do a presentation to this event. Being innovative and creative and making sure that all of our students are served. It's a compliment not only to our school district, but people like you and Coach Guajardo. So thank you very much for that. Dr. Sorensen, do you have anything you want to say?
Thank you. Thank you, President Alvarez. I also really want to thank the parents and the community members who support the hours and hours and hours of work that it takes to support our students after school, weekends. I know as a mom how much work that takes to make sure that your students are there and present and working. But I also want to support and thank you publicly, Mr. Garza. I know how hard you work and how hard your staff works to make sure that everything works on the weekends. You text me on the weekends to keep me informed. So thank you and your staff for the hard work that you do to make sure that everything in our district runs as it should. So thank you very much, and I wanted to do that publicly.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, Ms. Segovia, if you can make your way back to the podium. Thank you. And again, that's what sets us apart from any other school district. So thanks to all of you. La Jolla High School, I want to acknowledge the La Jolla High School for earning the College Board's AP Computer Science Female Diversity Award in Computer Science, A, and in Computer Science Principles. So making the presentation and explaining to us is Ms. Segovia.
Yes, good evening again, Madam Superintendent, Mr. Board President, and ladies and gentlemen of the board. I am Avelina Peña Segovia, High School AP Strategist for the district, and it is my pleasure and honor to recognize La Jolla High School for expanding young women's access to AP Computer Science. La Jolla High School is only one of 68 schools to be recognized for achieving this important result in both of their AP Science courses, AP Science Computer Principles, and AP Computer Science A. Through their leadership in diversifying computer science education, La Jolla High School is preparing female students for the in-demand jobs of the future and giving them the opportunity to help solve some of society's most challenging problems. So congratulations, La Jolla High School, Mr. Estrada, and AP designee, Ms. Rebecca Guzman. Thank you.
Do you want me to come up there, Estrada?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everyone for helping us recognize these amazing individuals. with the parents of all of these students being recognized tonight stand and of course be recognized. I know many of them have left, but if you're still here, please stand and to be recognized. Anybody here? No? And again, thank you for your continued support. Next, I'm going to ask for public comment. We have on the agenda, each speaker will be given 3 minutes to speak. Do we have any individuals that have signed up for public comment? Just a reminder that we do have Anita Chavez, who is my vice president, will be asking just 3 minutes. Once your 3 minutes are up, she will be informing you that your time's up. So I'm asking now our secretary, do we have any folks that have signed up for public comment?
Yes, we have 2 for public comments, and first we will have Mr. John Hickman come to the podium.
If you could please make your way to the podium and state your name, sir.
Good evening, school board. John Hickman from Victoria Air Conditioning. We're doing the contracting on the Lincoln High School mechanical changeouts. And my question is, what is the plan on payment moving forward, as we've gone 5 months without payment on the project? Was it heard or no?
Yes, we heard you.
Okay. That's basically the comment. We're about $3 million underpaid right now on the project. So any plan forward on special board meetings or anything that's going to happen to help relieve the work that we've done and haven't been paid for? Any comments would be appreciated.
Thank you for your comments, sir. Our next public speaker.
We have Brenda Lee Salinas, if you can make your way up to the podium.
Good evening, Mr. President, Madam Superintendent, members of the board, and community members. As you convene for the second time as our school board members for La Joya ISD, alongside our amazing superintendent of schools, you will discuss and approve many important items. La Joya AFT wants to express our gratitude for the crucial role you have undertaken to make our district a better place for our students, teachers, and all school employees. We understand that our district issues cannot be fixed overnight. However, we remain hopeful that as leaders appointed by our Commission of Education, you will continue to work collaboratively with all stakeholders to prioritize on our students' needs and help them succeed academically, because that's something that is so important for teachers and everyone that is in the classroom, everyone that takes part as being educators, that we want every student in our district to be able to have the resources so that they can be able to succeed academically. So also I wanted to just state that providing the support and the respect that our members and everyone who makes a difference in our students' lives, that means a lot. And you have, in this short period of time that you have been school board members, you have demonstrated that, so thank you. Finally, La Joya AFT would like to extend a special thanks to Dr. Sorensen and our CFO for that retention stipend recommendation. Our members, our school employees are very happy, and we really thank you for taking that extra step to really make sure, that our school employees, our members, are being valued and show that their work is appreciated and recognized, and what they do for our students and district truly matters. So again, thank you. And Mr. President, I want to address The first meeting, I addressed you all as Board of Managers. I apologize for that. It was brought to my attention that you're now our school board members, so thank you.
Thank you very much. Board member Ms. Peña, do we have any others that have signed up for public comment?
That concludes our public comments.
Great. So next on the item, I'd like to thank all of those that provided public comments tonight. Next on the agenda is the superintendent's report. Dr. Sorensen.
Thank you, President Alvarez. I will wait for it to be loaded. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So I would like to start this evening, first and foremost, expressing gratitude. I think today is day 20 of my time in this district. And one of the questions that I am consistently asked is, what do you like most about being in the Valley? And my response is the same every single time. And it is the warmth and kindness of the people that I have met since I have been here. It is the genuine care and concern of every person that I have met thus far, so in my time here, and the care and concern for the children and the employees and the well-being of the district that I am now leading. So that is what I have enjoyed the most in my 20 days here, and it has been quite an interesting 20 days. I've learned a lot, and I continue to learn with you. Thank you for asking me to continue to collaborate, because I will do just that. But we have learned a lot in this very short period of time. I have visited every high school. I have visited every middle school. I have visited 2 elementary schools. I have completed one-on-ones with every single one of my high school leaders. I have completed one-on-ones with every single one of my middle school leaders. I have done deep dives with every single one of my central office departments. And on Friday, I will release an overview of my first 30 days, a more comprehensive overview for everyone in the district to see. So I will continue to be transparent and honest and forthcoming, which is what all stakeholders have asked me to do thus far in my time in the district. And part of that transparency and part of that openness that I've been asked to continue to work on with the district includes finances. And so tonight I bring to the community and I bring to the board my first fiscal update and my first financial update that I bring to the community and to the board. And so I start with ESSER because, as the community may or may not know, but as the board knows, ESSER funds come to an end. ESSER funds have an end date of September 2024. And so one of my first actions as superintendent was to dig into this particular fund to learn what we were doing with this fund as we were entering into budget season, knowing that this chunk of money, this bucket of funds, were going to come to an end. So one of the first funds that I dug into as the superintendent was, how did we spend this money? And what were our plans to exit out of this particular fund? So as you will see as I walk you through these slides, this is the ESSER journey of La Joya ISD. So the agenda and purpose for the presentation is to walk the board as well as the community through the ESSER overview. So what are ESSER funds and how much did the district receive? Stakeholder voices. As a part of ESSER, the federal government required all districts to dig into what did students, staff, and the community say in terms of how they wanted these funds to be spent. It was a federal requirement,
by the government to inquire as to how the community at large wanted these funds to be spent. And then districts were required to align at least a portion of that funding to what stakeholders requested. What was the district ESSER strategy? So what was the district's financial plan for utilizing these ESSER funds? What were the major spending categories? How did the district actually spend the money? What is the FTE and workforce analysis? Meaning, how many permanent positions are currently on ESSER dollars? Year by year, as we phase out of the ESSER dollar spend. What is the current revenue, ADA, average daily attendance, and fund balance? Because as we began to look at how ESSER funds were being spent, it naturally led me to the questions of, so as these funds go away, what will we do? How will we exist? What will we do in order to continue to thrive, not just survive, as a district? So it led me to have to look at what is our current revenue, and revenue in the state of Texas is driven by not enrollment, but by average daily attendance. And so what is our average daily attendance of the students that are enrolled, and what does that mean for our fund balance? What is our projected budget deficit? So what does it mean in terms of what will the coming fiscal challenges look like as we come off of ESSER, as we look at average daily attendance, as enrollment declines? And then what were the outcomes and what are our next steps? So that's what I'm going to walk the community through this evening, as well as the board. I'm sorry. So here is the overview at a very high level. So the Elementary and Secondary School Emergency Relief Fund, otherwise known as ESSER, the original intent of ESSER was to assist schools with creating healthy learning environments, return students to classroom, and address the local need, primarily around learning loss. The funds were given to school districts all across the nation to address local need, but the primary reason for the expenditure from the federal government was to assist schools with return to learning. ESSER were initially distributed at the height of the pandemic, and then the fund was bolstered twice more by Congress, known as ESSER 1, ESSER 2, and ESSER 3. And so what you will see here is that La Joya ISD was granted a total of $228.4 million over the 3 years, over the 3 tranches of funds. And you see the 3 tranches of funds as they are outlined here. ESSER 1 was $15.5 million, ESSER 2 was $65.6 million, and ESSER 3 was $147.3 million. And you see the dates in which those funds were released. So starting with the stakeholders, and again, going back to what I said with the original slide, is that the federal government required, as a part of the ESSER release, that you gain stakeholder input as to how the district, the community, parents, students, staff wanted to use the funds. And so students were asked a question. It was an open-ended survey, and they were asked one question from the data I was able to gather. And that question was, what are ways your school can improve? And this question was asked of middle school students and high school students. And it was an open-ended survey. Parents and families were asked questions such as, what are some of the best ways we can help their child address learning loss or learning acceleration? What are the ways we can help support parents and families to be partners in supporting student learning? And a survey was sent out. Teachers and staff were asked questions such as, in the areas of accelerated learning, what strategies do you think our district should prioritize? And in the area of social emotional health, what strategies do you think our district should prioritize? And so I'm going to share with you the results that I was able to gather from the data that was shared with me. The student survey responses, there were a total responses of 199. And again, I want to go back to, it was an open-ended response of only middle school and high school students, and again, gleaned high-level responses from the 199 from middle school and high school, and this is some of the responses that students were given: less repetitive homework, more electives, care more about student mental health and test scores, more helpful was for students with social anxiety, more programs after school, helping students deal with stress and fear, have counseling classes and resources, greater focus on students and asking them what they need, on and on. There's a pattern here. I'm sorry, I skipped. Okay, then here are parent responses. There were total parent responses of 2,264. Top strategies to address learning loss. Our parents said extended year. They wanted an extended year calendar. They wanted extended day. They wanted Saturday tutoring and after-school tutoring. And what we found from digging into the data is that some schools, individual schools, did this. Individual schools on their own created programs. But as a district, as a whole, we did not. But there were individual schools and individual teachers and individual classrooms that did these programs, but not as a whole district did we implement these programs and strategies. But overwhelmingly, this is what our parents said they wanted. Parents supporting student learning. What can we do to help parents and so that they could help their students with learning? Technology classes, family engagement, parent-teacher conferences, adult classes, college field trips, college culture sessions, and Q&A from curriculum and instruction. These are just some of the responses from the 2,264. And on academic acceleration from teachers and staff, total teacher and staff responses over 1,200. Our teachers and staff said Saturday learning, acceleration academies, summer learning, early start academies, and after-school tutoring. And again, to the credit of some of our schools and some of our educators, again, who are working incredibly hard, they did this in some schools, in some classrooms, in some departments, but again, not as a district-wide strategy. Let me go back. Keep skipping, I apologize. On SEL and mental health, teachers and staff said mentoring programs, parent classes, focus on student mental health, and staff mental health supports. Because as you can remember, coming back from the pandemic, there were still many adults struggling with mental health supports. So again, some schools, I always want to focus on there were pockets of places working on this, but not district-wide strategies. So, in my conversations with departments, because as I said, we did deep dives with departments thus far in my time here, I said, and I asked, what were the district-wide strategies for what we were going to then do with ESSER? And at the onset of the pandemic, the district said it would use ESSER funds with the following broad strategies in mind. The district was going to place permanent FTEs, operational expenditures, and capital projects on a temporary grant and on temporary dollars. They would utilize ESSER, and the district would build up its fund balance. While utilizing ESSER, the district will also then right-size the budget and address the deficit. So we would move positions and we would use the temporary money to address the deficit. And so that is not an unheard of strategy. I want to say that publicly. That is not an unheard of strategy. Districts did that, right? In order to build up the fund balance, and I want to address the board and the public here, that the district faced a $15.4 million budget deficit in 2019. So not an unheard of strategy, but also want to acknowledge what the community said they wanted, right? So there's this push-pull. But the objective of this was to pay off the debt. The objective was to get us out of the hole. And so at the same time that enrollment is declining and at the same time that ADA is declining, the strategy was to right-size the budget and address the deficit. So the objectives were to lower the operating budget, lower FTE, and increase fund balance. That was the goal. By spending ESSER, we were going to do these three things. And so by total dollar amount, we spent, these dollar amounts, I won't read them all to you. We spent over $33 million on learning loss, and all other expenditures, almost $150 million. And so while parents and students and staff made requests for learning loss, social emotional supports, we made $150 million on other expenditures, and learning loss, $33 million. General payroll, $14 million, indirect costs, $11 million, capital projects, $22 million. And again, this is not to say that capital projects were not necessary. They were. This is not to say that operations were not necessary. They were. My question as an incoming superintendent was how much? And these are the questions that I'm going to continue to ask as we go through budget season. So I also want the public and my board to see that as year one position category, there was a total of 51 positions. Year two by position category, there was a total of 504 positions on ESSER. Now again, I want to go back to the reminder that the strategy was to take positions from general fund and put them on ESSER. But at the same time that you're doing that, we're supposed to be reducing positions because we're supposed to be weaning off and right-sizing. At the beginning of this school year, 23-24, so as we're entering into the last year of ESSER, we currently, going this current school year, not today, because the number changes day to day, because somebody might retire and somebody might leave, but going into this school year, there were 556 positions on ESSER. So the plan to reduce staffing so that we were building up the fund balance over the 3 years of ESSER did not occur. And please notice where the positions are. We have 27 instructional positions. We have 45 health positions. We have 91 police positions. We have 33 tech, 2 admin, 131 auxiliary, that means support, 227 custodial, for a total of 556. 91 police officers is larger than some municipalities around us. We have a police force that is larger than municipalities that we serve. We have custodial. So these are positions that are not easily cut. If I cut custodial, how are our buildings clean? If I lose police officers, that's safety and security. But we didn't right-size the district in the meantime. Stakeholders have asked me to be transparent and honest, so I am doing just that with the board. So again, we are going to face tough conversations in the month ahead about how to come off of our ESSER cliff as we move forward, because the positions that are sitting in ESSER are essential positions. And sometimes that's a strategy. So what are the human capital trends that existed before I got here? Based on a recent TASB staffing study, the district was already overstaffed. 300 plus employees at a cost exceeding $20 million when compared to peer districts. There was a TASB study done in 2019 that told the district that prior to my arrival. La Jolla ISD had a higher total personnel per 1,000 students compared to state and peer district averages. Overall, the district reported approximately 454 more employees than the state average, and 625 more than the peer district average when adjusted for enrollment. The number of support staff, aides, professional support increased over an 8-year period from 13.8 to over 15.4. So we were increasing support staff while enrollment was going down. So I want to also point out, again, just the raw data, again, increasing transparency to show that while enrollment was declining, we did decrease some teachers, campus administration decreased, central administration, not much of a decrease. Auxiliary staff, while there is a decrease, not that much of a decrease. Also, again, in full transparency, here is average daily attendance. So as the plan, I want to remind the public of the plan. The plan was, over the 3 years of ESSER, to be decreasing staff, to be right-sizing the district, because we were planning to use ESSER to build up fund balance. And we were actually increasing staff while we were losing ADA, while we were losing enrollment, and not fulfilling the promise of ESSER, which was to increase our fund balance. And so you will see that here. So we start getting the money, right? You'll see fund balance increases, right? All of a sudden, and I'll use I discussed this with my husband, who is not an educator in terms of school finance. He is an English teacher, but he doesn't do school finance. So here's how I explain it to him. So you pay off your credit card, and now all of a sudden you're like, great, I'm in the black. I have a credit line. And so you have a credit line for a couple of years. But then you go spending, and you go spending, and you go spending. And then all of a sudden, payday comes, and now you're in the red again. And so here we are with 556, did I say, employees who have to go back on the payroll. So now we've gone shopping with 556 employees that have to go back on the payroll, or we have to do something else, which puts us at a fund balance deficit of $19.5 million. So something has to change. Oh, goodness, it really took me. So, this is not liking me, I apologize. So the report card for ESSER, learning loss and acceleration, 18.23% of the funds were spent on learning loss. We're projected at a $19.5 million deficit. There was a reduction of 137 positions over that time. I do want to acknowledge that. Increased district revenues. There was an increase in the 58 million. And now there will be the deficit as a result of having to add positions back, if that's what we choose to do. Adjust strategies to financial realities. We didn't do that. Our enrollment decreased and our ADA decreased. So what have been my immediate reactions in the 20 days that I have been here? I am currently revising budgeting practices for schools and central office that signal sound financial practices. We are currently aligning campus needs assessment, campus improvement plans to school budgeting processes. All of our campuses are going to have to go through a needs assessment. They're going to have to do their campus improvement plans, and then they're going to have to do their budgeting process. We're realigning how it goes. All of my central office departments are implementing zero-based budgeting processes starting effective immediately. We are re-emphasizing evidence-based instructional practices. That means that there will be a reduction of the multiple learning platforms for test prep and core instruction. Right now, we are funding multiple platforms for core instruction and for test prep that is just not aligned with evidence-based practices or sound instruction, and so we're going to streamline how we do core instruction. We're conducting an audit of all procurement and purchasing and HR processes to make sure that hiring practices are sound and that our procurement and purchasing is not a replication of services. And we're going to make sure that we're ethical and transparent in what we do. We instituted a soft hiring freeze. That means the teachers, special education aides were all approved, and essential positions are going to go through. We are also going to create effective central office departments that will serve the district more effectively moving forward. Oh, see? We are reviewing and monitoring all district discretionary funding. We are closing budgets March 8th, with the exception of essential spending, and we are halting all non-essential spending across all departments, and all departments have been notified of such. We're conducting department deep dives to assess and prioritize programs and services. We are evaluating alignment of all systems to our staffing guidelines. We have been staffing programs and campuses well outside our publicly produced staffing guidelines. So we're going to take a look at that. We're going to make sure that we're within our staffing guidelines. We are reviewing and renegotiating vendor contracts to make sure that procurement processes are being followed and that our vendors and suppliers are providing us the best service at the best cost. I don't know that that's been done in the past. We're recalling all unused state and non-ESSER federal grant funding, and we're going to make sure that it's going to kids, and we're going to make sure that it's funding our teachers' professional learning, and we're going to make sure that it's going to best evidence-based practices moving forward. And then we're going to explore energy conservation measures. All of this, though, falls under the heading of making sure that we are aligning practices to what's best for kids and best for teachers and best for staff. All of this may sound like a lot of words, but I have to say, under the umbrella of all of this, the main question is, what is best for kids? What is best for our teachers? What is best for our principals? And what is going to produce the best outcomes for our schools? And so I say that to this board, that we've learned a lot in 20 days. We've taken quite a journey in the past 20 days. And we have some next steps as a team, and I'm excited to take the next steps with our team. We're going to work with the central office team and our campus leaders on our budgeting process for 24-25 to continue to reduce the budget deficit. knowing, and I want to say this publicly to every single person who's listening, that this is not a one-year fix. Please don't expect it to be a one-year fix. Please manage expectations on it being a one-year fix. It will not be a one-year fix. It can't be a one-year fix. If you expected it to be a one-year fix, it would be devastating to a community. And we can't do that here in La Jolla. That's not fair, and it's not humane. So we will take this as a process, and we will engage stakeholders in the process on how to fix this. It didn't happen in a year, and we can't fix it in a year. So my second point is we will collaborate with stakeholders on ways to accomplish this. Your partnership with me on this is invaluable. And so I want to hear from people on how to fix this. Students and academic outcomes will be at the center of all of this, but so will stakeholder voice, as well as the board's advisement on each step in this process. Your partnership as a board is incredibly important to me on this. And then we will continue to communicate with our stakeholders transparently and regularly on continued findings as we make decisions that are in the best interest of our students, staff, and community, knowing again, and I'm going to keep saying it until you guys are sick and tired of hearing it, but that students are at the center of our decision making, and that you guys trust and know that we are making decisions based upon what is best for our young people in this community. So I will end here, and I will take questions from the board.
Any questions?
Dr. Sorensen, I just want to say that presentation was amazing, very well spoken, very, I was able to understand it amazingly. And, the transparency that you are showing us and the community is just something that we've really been needing here in La Jolla. And, I want to also thank you and acknowledge what you've done, getting together the stipend for the ESSER funds for the teachers and staff. That is amazing that, just in your, 1 month here, you've already been able to do so much, and your hard work is showing. Like, people see it, we see it, the community sees it, that you are doing amazing work.
Thank you so much. This has been a lot of hard work. I am appreciative of a team of people that work with me. And I appreciate you calling out the stipend because there has been some conversation about politicizing the stipend. And so I want to acknowledge that there are no politics in the stipend. The stipend is for our educators. And the stipend is for our educators. And the stipend is for the hard work of our educators. And when I use educators, I mean that for the staff. Because whether they are in the kitchen, or whether they are cleaning the floor, or whether they are turning on the lights, or whether they are making sure the lawn is done, they are educators, because it takes every single bit of that to make sure that the environment that the kids are in works, right? Whether it's a bus driver, no matter which educator it is, because it may be that bus driver that has a relationship with the child that has the conversation on the way to school. So there are no politics in that stipend. And so I want to acknowledge that that is for the hard work of the people who show up every day. And it is a decision that while it was in ESSER previously allocated, it is a decision that this superintendent made to keep it there. Thank you.
Yes. Do we have any other questions from the board? Do we have any other questions from the board? Dr. Sorensen, I think I can speak on behalf of the board that the La Jolla School District is very fortunate to have you at the helm of this district. So we thank you for all the hard work, and we know you work 7 days a week. So we know that for a fact. Again, thank you very much for the report. The following item on the agenda is the approval of the tax collector's report. Do I have a motion for approval?
Mr. Garza, if you have any questions.
Do I have any questions? Mr. Garza?
I'm sorry. I
Yes,
thought
sir.
you had asked the board if they had any questions. Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, Superintendent Dr. Sorensen. As per Texas Property Tax Code Section 3110A, each month the collector of taxes for a taxing unit shall prepare and submit to the governing body of the unit a written report made under oath accounting for all taxes collected for the unit during the preceding month. In your agenda on page 15, this report is the taxes collected for the month of November. This report comes from the County Tax Assessor Collector, Pablo Paul Verial. As of November 2023, the amount collected to date for the 2023 tax roll was $252,166.96. This represents a 0.76% of the modification to date tax levy. Of course, it's too early in the year to collect more because it's barely November. Tax statements weren't released until late November, December. For the month of November in total, $632,421.16 was collected for taxes and fees. Are there any questions for the month of November? If none, we seek approval for the November 2023 Tax Collectors Report.
Do we have any questions? Okay. The following item, as you know, was the Tax Collector's Report from Mr. Garza. Do I have a motion for approval?
I move to approve the report.
Do I have a second?
I second the motion.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Garza.
Yes.
Item number 8, approval of the minutes. Do I have a motion?
I'm
Do you
sorry,
have
sir.
anything else? I'm sorry.
Here's number
Well,
2.
we have 2 reports. The next one is December.
Thank you. I'm
As
sorry,
well.
Mr. Garza. Proceed. I apologize for that.
Yeah, that's fine. And I'll continue on as of on page 17, as of December 2023, the amount collected to date for the 2023 tax roll was $8,973,547.12. So at this time, this past year, the community started receiving their tax statements and they started paying. This represents 26.84% of the modification to date tax levy. But for the month of December, $8,807,388 was collected for taxes and fees. If there are no questions, we seek approval for the December 2023 Tax Collectors Report.
Do you have a motion for approval?
I move to approve the report.
Do I have a second?
I second the motion.
Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? It's unanimous. Motion carries. Thank you very much, Mr. Garza. Okay, so now we're going to item number 9, the approval of the minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I move to approve the minutes.
Wait, hold on. Let me make sure I get this right. Next item is approval of the minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes approved through items 1 through 5?
I move to approve the items 1 through 5.
Do I have a second?
I second the motion.
All of those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? We don't have anything. Motion carries. It's by unanimous. Thank you very much. Item number 10 is discussion items. If I can ask Dr. Magda Verial to make her way to the podium and provide us with a presentation. So Dr. Verial, if I'm not mistaken, this discussion is the approval of the elementary and secondary school emergency relief, ESSER 3 staff retention stipend.
That is correct.
Thank you.
So good afternoon, Mr. Board President, Board of Trustees, Dr. Sorensen, and La Jolla ISD community. I'm here to discuss and share with you all some information regarding the retention stipend. As you all can see there in your slides or in your computer, the purpose of the stipend is basically to recognize our staff that comes in every single day and gives everything that our kids need, that support, that that commitment, that, everything that they do on a daily basis as far as the instructional piece, right? And like Dr. Sorensen just mentioned earlier, right, from the cafeteria all the way to our transportation, our drivers, bus drivers, we want to be able to recognize the commitment, ongoing commitment that they provide to our students. The amount that's going to be provided is $1,000 stipend, and that's going to be issued out tomorrow for all employees that have been hired since February 28th, from the beginning of the year all the way till February 28th. Now, that is a total of $4.7 million coming out of the ESSER 3 funds. When we say all employees, because we did mention that it's for all employees, I do want to go ahead and share with you all that when we're looking at the all, we're talking about full-time employees. We're also talking about full-time grant employees. However, there's a component of a group of employees that we want to talk about, which is our part-time employees and also our part-time grant employees, as well as our substitutes that will not be getting that particular stipend. Okay. It's also important to note that since the retention is an incentive to be able to retain our staff, we will not be providing that retention stipend for anybody who leaves our district after the 28th. What that means is, for example, Magda Villarreal decides to retire, right? I decide to retire on April 28th, right? And my contract ends on May 25th. That means that my stipend will be taken back on the last day of that particular paycheck that I receive. Okay.
Taken back or just reduced, deducted, or like?
Well, it will be
reduced?
deducted from the last paycheck.
The whole amount?
That $1,000. Okay. So that's basically our, in a nutshell. Do you all want to go ahead and ask any questions that you all might have for me?
Do we have any questions for Dr. Villarreal at this time? You may proceed, Dr. Villarreal.
Okay, thank you. The next presentation for you guys.
Does that conclude your presentation? Yes. Oh, thank you. No, thank you very much. Thank you. We're just waiting. Thank you very much. Great presentation. Thank you for that. Again, if I could ask Mr. Garza to make his way back to the podium.
Blanca, can you fix the presentation, please? That's up. Thank you. It's back to my budget update. No. It's fine. Thank you.
So before you make your presentation, Dr. Garza, Mr. Garza, I think I wanted to ask if our board members had any questions for Dr. Villarreal before we make a motion to approve or disapprove.
No questions.
Any questions? No discussion? All in favor of approving?
We need a motion.
I need a motion to approve.
I move to approve.
Do I hear a second?
I second.
Do we want to discuss that any further? No discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed signify by saying no. Motion carries. Thank you very much again, Dr. Villarreal. Mr. Garza, you may proceed.
Yes, the next item on the agenda is approval of cancellation of the Superintendent's Golf Classic Tournament for 2023-2024 school year. Administration has decided to cancel the golf tournament traditionally used for fundraising for student scholarships due to several concerns. First, ethical considerations regarding soliciting vendors for sponsorship with potential conflicts of interest and transparency issues. Second, there is a strong emphasis on maintaining instructional focus, redirecting time and resources towards activities more directly aligned with student success. Additionally, the administration aims to allocate resources more efficiently, opting for fundraising methods that better support the educational mission. Ultimately, the decision reflects a strategic evaluation of the effectiveness of past fundraising methods and a commitment to activities that align more closely with the educational goals and values of this district. We are seeking approval for the cancellation of the Superintendent's Golf Classic Tournament.
Do any of you have a question for Mr. Garza? No questions? Okay, so what I need is a motion for approval of cancellation of the Superintendent's Golf Classic Tournament for 2023-2024 school year. Do I have a motion for approval?
I move to approve.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Anyone want to further discuss it? No discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Garza. Okay, next we have consent agenda. Do I have a motion?
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Do I have a second?
I second the motion.
All of those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Seeing that we don't have any, it's unanimous. It's consent agenda is approved. Okay, let's see what we got next. Item number one, discussion approval of the superintendent's contract for Dr. Marcy Sorensen. Do I have a motion?
I move to approve.
Do I have a second?
I second the motion.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those that are opposed, same sign. No discussion? Have any discussion? Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations, Dr. Sorensen. I do want to follow that by a statement, and I ask that you hear this out. Since the state does not allow for a contract to exceed 5 years, we plan to revisit this contract either in June or August to extend the contract term to be in sync with either the school year and/or the TRS year rather than a February termination date. Just wanted to make that clear, so thank you for that. Item number 2, discussion and approval of DBU Educational Leadership Consulting Corporation. Do I have a motion for approval?
I move to approve.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Do I have any discussion on this item? If not, can I have those signifying for approval signify by saying aye?
Aye.
Those that do not want to approve signify by saying no. There isn't any, no discussion, passes unanimously. Board President, I will now indicate by going to item number 3, approval of Region 1's Educational Service Center School System Cooperative for 2023-2024 school year and professional consultant support services. Do I have a motion?
I move to approve.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, item number B, bids. Let me see. Moving into the next agenda business. Okay, now I guess we don't have anything here to discuss, right, Blanca? Okay, thank you for helping me. So now we're going to go to C, which is business and finance. Moving on to this business and finance, I am going to be asking a presentation to be done. So thank you, Mr. Garcia, if you could go ahead and entertain us.
Good evening, President Alvarez, Superintendent Sorensen, Dr. Sorensen, and esteemed board members. My name is Jose Garcia. I serve as the Area Assistant Superintendent for Operations within this esteemed institution. The item that I bring before you in Section C, business number 2, is the contract services needed for La Joya ISD Henry B. Gonzalez Elementary due to damages caused by a hailstorm back in April 21st of 2023. So I'm seeking approval of a quotation submitted by contractor, and we did our due diligence ensuring that this quotation has been sourced through Region 8 TIPS Purchasing Cooperative, reflecting our commitment to efficient and strategic procurement practices. So just to give you a little history, because it's been a while. So like I said, this happened back in April of 2021, back in 2023. There was a storm that hit. We had to evacuate the building. It was a complete shutdown, complete mess where the roof was just taken off that building. So we had to not only refurbish it, but we had to relocate our students. That's why, if you've heard, they're over at Kika de la Garza Elementary. So we bused those kids over there. This is an item that up for your approval, but it's also getting paid through an insurance claim, right? So we did some remediation, fixed some stuff. It took a couple of board meetings, past administration. So then as we move forward, we're bringing it back because we already did and sealed the roof. However, when they were going to go do the work inside, they realized because of the moisture inside the building, because they had taken so long, and again, another couple of storms had hit, we had more mold inside, so we had to remediate. That's why we're bringing this item back. We already checked with our insurance consultants, and it's something that will be approved as soon as you all give us the okay tonight.
Do we have any questions for Mr. Garcia? Okay.
Just out of curiosity,
Go ahead.
the mold found, was it just like black mold, standard? What kind of mold, do you know? Was it ever tested, or just curiosity?
Yes, it gets tested. We did it air quality control. Actually, we did it twice, because we did it when we first started and we went into an emergency to get it remediated. And then for whatever reason, some areas were just left damp. So yeah, it grows. I couldn't be able to tell you right now if it's like the spores or so forth, but we do have a full report that I can share with you all later.
Yeah, that'd be great, yeah.
Okay?
Thank you.
We'll bring it back.
Do I have a motion?
I move to approve.
Do I have a second?
I second the motion.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? None stated. It's passed unanimously. Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Garcia. Our next item is number D, Instruction and Student Services. Mr. Munoz, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Board President, Madam Superintendent, ladies and gentlemen of the board and community. This evening before you is a board item to approve the 2024 summer school programs. You have a manual that explains the different programs that we're offering, or the courses that we're offering this summer. It's a very comprehensive program. It's filled with both enrichment and enhancement programs. As a district, we're a district of choice and opportunities. We recognize that summer learning is very important. We want to mitigate the learning loss that usually happens during the summer. As you heard from Dr. Sorensen, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, quite a few of our students have a learning gap that we need to close, and we're leveraging this additional time, this extended school year, to be able to do so. Now, in addition to the learning enhancement programs, we also have learning enrichment to accelerate learning for some of our students that might have fallen behind or that want to advance in their studies. So the La Jolla ISD summer program, like I said, we will have enrichment and acceleration programs. Our elementary and middle school programs will run from May 28th all the way through June 21st. Our high school programs will run from May 28th through June 28th. We did have add an additional week in comparison to elementary and middle school because there is an opportunity for our students to test in the summer during that additional time. The time for the summer school program will run from 7:55 in the morning all the way through 3:15. Again, just like during the regular school year, safety will be a priority. So we will continue with our campus and our district safety protocols. All doors will need to remain locked. Administrative staff will continue to do door checks to make sure that our schools are secure. All visitors must wear an ID when visiting campuses. Student dress code will continue to be enforced. All staff will wear ID badges. Employees that are sick or have COVID-19 symptoms, those employees will not be able to report to work. For our elementaries, we will have 5 elementary school sites. The 5 sites that are going to be running in the summer that will be hosting schools will be Tabasco Elementary, Chapa Elementary, Zapata Elementary, Escandon Elementary, and Cavazos Elementary. These school sites have been chosen strategically to allow access to our parents in our community. They're close to their home campus, and also it allows the other campuses that are being used so that operations facilities can go and do buildings refresh. The elementary programs that we will be offering in the elementary will be a bilingual pre-K summer program, bilingual kinder program, a K through 5 high-impact summer program to accelerate instruction, also to address House Bill 1416 when it comes to those students that need additional instruction. We will also offer a SATA program for K through 5 for those students that, due to sickness or other reasons, were not able to meet the 90% compulsory attendance requirement. For our dyslexia students, we will be offering a dyslexia summer program. For our early readers, for our parents, there is an HEB Read 3 program in which we work with our community and we invite parents to come in and learn about nutrition and the importance of early reading. We will also offer a special ed program for elementaries, and through the 21st Century Grant, we were going to be offering a Texas ACE program. This program is an extension of what we do during the normal school year. It allows for students to participate in enrichment and enhancement camps after school and through the summer. We will also offer a STEM technology camps for our GT and advanced students, and for our migrants, we will continue to offer a migrant summer program. For our elementaries, we do have a summer wellness program embedded into the summer program. Students will have a daily 30-minute wellness lesson as part of their schedule. and our summer school teachers will be responsible to provide those physical fitness activities. In our middle schools, we will have 4 sites offering summer school. These will be at the Zavala Middle School, Garcia Middle School, Trevino Middle School, and Richards Middle School. And those 4 sites, so those 4 schools will be hosting 4 additional campuses. The programs that we're going to be offering for middle school, just like in the elementary, we do offer a high impact program in the areas of reading and math for 6th through 8th for those students that were not successful under state assessments and they need to make up those additional hours before they move on to the next school year. And we also have a high impact program for science and social studies, an English language enrichment summer program, migrant text prep, STEM technology camps, dyslexia summer program, special ed extended school year program, and our SEDA for those students that need to make up their attendance. Our 3 comprehensive high schools will be offering summer school for credit recovery, learning acceleration, and our Lincoln building will be used for our summer bridge program for those students that are transitioning from the middle school up into the high school, into the early colleges so that they can have that orientation and have the opportunity to get assistance and support so that they can pass their TSI and then start be able to enroll in dual credit courses once they get to the high school. And we have a wide array of summer school programs that again allow for our students to participate in credit recovery and also in dual enrollment and get that college hours and advancement. That's my presentation, Mr. Alvarez. Ladies and gentlemen of the board, administration is recommending that the board approve this item, but I'm available in case you have any questions.
Board members, do we have any questions for Mr. Munoz?
Yes, I do have a question. Mr. Munoz, on average, how many students attend our summer programs? Do you know?
No, not off the top of my head, but I can get you that answer in regards to what the number has been historically. But for the most part, quite a few of our students are invited to participate. Again, it's available to both those students that are falling behind and also for those students that want to get ahead.
Awesome, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Do we have any other questions for Mr. Munoz? Great question. Ms. Peña. Do I have a motion?
I move to approve.
Do I have a second?
I second the motion.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? See that there's none. It passes unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Munoz. Let's go to E, section Human Resources. E, Human Resources. It's a consider an adoption of board policy DC local. Dr. Sorensen, be making the presentation.
I am making a recommendation that we update the policy, local policy, updated version of employment practices, DC local, delegates superintendent final authority to hire, terminate, discharge, or accept the resignation of contractual and non-contractual personnel to the full extent allowed by Texas law.
Do any of us have any questions for Dr. Sorensen? No questions? Do I have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
I'd like to second it.
Can I have all those signify by saying aye in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much. At this time, we will be going into executive session under section 551004, 071, 072, 073, 074, 076, 082, 0821, 083, 084, 089 of the Texas Government Code for the purposes listed in the motion. The time is?
7:33 p.m.
7:33 p.m. We are back from executive session at 8:28 p.m. At this time, may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I move to adjourn the meeting.
Do I have a second?
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Signifying all of the opposed? It's unanimous. The meeting is adjourned and it is 8:29.